What is going on, all you minties? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and join me today as I go over my top 10 graphic novels collected editions that were released in 2020. So, please stay tuned. Alright, before we start this list, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. We put out videos every day, and that does help with our YouTube algorithm and our channel get found out there. So that's really important. That's why I always stress to hit that like button and comment below with your top 10 list or your top 5, top 3 list of books that you think were the best releases of 2020. Now, when I'm doing this list, this is a list of my personal choices. This isn't books that I read in 2020. That will come out tomorrow. This is a list of top 10 books of graphic novels, collected editions, omnis, manga, whatever it was that I think were the best releases of 2020. Now, that either has to do with the stories that I think were finally released in oversized format or the presentation of the book. So that's what I'm basing it on. So no reads, even though I've read most of this stuff. Those reads, top 10 reads of 2020 will come out tomorrow. Last day of the year. Whew! 2 more days, baby. 2 more days of 2020. Let's get out of this year. So, keep that in mind. This is just my list. I would love to know what yours is. Leave those comments down below. But let's go ahead and get started with my number 1 pick. Super Sons, the Expanded Edition. That's right. I know some of you all, like myself, had the original one. And then when this was announced, you were like, I'm not going to buy it. Not going to do it. And then, just like my dumbass self, I'm sure some of you all double-dipped and bought this. But I love this story so much. I'm a huge fan of Tomasi's run on Superman, and that's getting an omnibus sometime next year. And when they had the spin-offs of the kids of Superboy and Damian Robin, these two are just magical together. I love the artwork in here. There's art by Jorge Jimenez. I've done an overview of the book, and most of these I've done an overview of. But just, this is an amazing book. If you've not had a chance to buy the original one, you need to do yourself a favor and check this one out, because this has everything. This has the Adventures of the Super Sons in here, which was a 12-issue maxi series that wasn't collected in the original omnibus. However, they have a new series going on, so I don't know if next year they're going to, or I'm sorry, in 2022, they'll release a super expanded omnibus edition. That would be ridiculous. Do I see myself triple dipping? Probably. Rosa Versailles by Ryoko Ikeda. This presentation is beautiful. This is from Udon Studios. Now, for a manga reader like myself, I have been waiting so many decades for this book to finally come out in English. This is the first time it's been available in English format. It came out earlier this year. There's going to be 6 of these. I think the 4th one comes out sometime in March. But it's literally the story of Lady Oscar and how she tries to infiltrate, by dressing up as a man, into Marie Antoinette's palace guards. And that's pretty much the basis of the story. It's got beautiful artwork. But to a lot of manga readers overseas that have had the privilege of reading this for years, this is regarded as one of the best manga ever. And while the artwork may be outdated to some people, and I think the presentation is just beautiful. You have these gold foil stamps all over the book, not only in the front, but the back and the spine. And they're all in hardcover format. They're beautiful books. I highly recommend trying it out if you're a fan of manga. I've never had the chance to read this piece of history, so do yourself a favor and check this one out. War of the Realms Omnibus. This is from Marvel Comics, and you all know how I like my omnis. Thicker than a Snicker, baby. And that's what this omnibus is. This is the biggest omnibus from Marvel Comics. It's over 1,500 pages. Now, I know some of y'all have reached out to me. Oh, Omar, it's out of print. I didn't get to get it. I myself am trying to make sure that this gets restocked, and hopefully here on the channel in a couple of weeks I'll be able to announce a new date for the restock for those of you that did not get it, because I want everybody to just, be able to buy these books whenever they come out. This is the beautiful crossover that came out in 2019 that just grew out of Jason Aaron's Thor run, and it kind of just became a Marvel crossover. And every little bit of the miniseries and the crossovers with ongoing issues of Avengers and Thor are in here. Now, the way that this is mapped is they have the 5-issue miniseries, and then they have the Thor issues in between those issues of War of the Realms. So, without putting 17 issues of crossover events in between issues. I think that's mapped pretty good. It's got beautiful artwork by Russell Dauterman, and Del Mundo's in here with his art. So if you've not read it, I think this is probably one of the best ways to read it. It's a huge book, so it's for all that love your big, thick omnis, just like myself. This is definitely up there. How could I not put the Legend of Zelda hardcover box set collection on this list? This is from Viz Comics. This is a beautiful presentation. Now, when I did my unboxing video, my soundbite didn't work whenever you're supposed to open up the chest. It's supposed to give you the... yes, that. But mine doesn't work. And I saw a video tutorial on how to change the battery out to make sure yours is working. So I may try to do that. I may try to disassemble it to put it together. But this is a beautiful freaking box set. It's got the Legend of Zelda manga in hardcover edition. These were previously released as soft covers only, and for the first time they're available in hardcover, and this is the only way to get it. But the Triforce logo, the chest, it's just, I think it's a cool gimmick that actually works, and it worked on me because I was like, I don't know if I want to purchase that because I already have the small softcover box set. But then when I saw it, I was like, okay, done. Incredible Hulk by Peter David, Omnibus Volume 2. Now, you all know, if you've been watching my channel, how long I've been wanting this series in omnibus format. At the beginning of this year, we got the first one back in January. We got Volume 1, and it's got beautiful artwork by Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson, Sam Keith. So why did I go with Volume 2? Because these are the stories that just literally sucked me into becoming a Hulk fan. This is the artwork by Del Keown. There's a crossover event in here with X Factor, who Peter David was writing at the time. This shows us Smart Hulk, Grey Hulk, Green Hulk. Just, there's so many cool things that happen in this particular volume that I know we're going to get more. We're going to get Volume 3 with Gary Frank's wonderful artwork, and then I hope we get a Volume 4 with Angel Medina and a bunch of other artists that help. But to me, I think this is where they really hit their stride and where it just reached a level of, holy crap, Hulk is an awesome book. It's a book I wasn't following. You know, I'd follow it off and on when John Byrne was on it or Bill Mantlow's run, but it wasn't until Del Keown's run that I started following it monthly. And then this right here is the book that collects those issues, and damn, this is so good. I think it is being restocked, so keep an eye out. Cheap Graphic Novels, Tales of Wonder, In Stock Trades, those places, to see when it comes back. And at this moment, I just want to remind you all to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And one thing I forgot to mention is that this is not a countdown. This isn't my least to favorite or my favorite to least. It's just me talking about 10 books that came out in 2020 that I think were the best of. So let's get back to the list. Power Rangers Beyond the Grid Deluxe Edition. Now, we've had Power Rangers Year 1, Power Rangers Year 2, Power Rangers Shattered Grid, and now we have the Beyond the Grid series. Despite of how I felt about the story in here, not living up to Kyle Higgins' run, this is Marjorie Bennett's run, the presentation of this book is absolutely beautiful. And the fact that we have 4 volumes in this format makes me really happy, and hopefully next year we'll have another one, and hopefully Boom does the right thing and collects the Go-Go Power Ranger series Year 1 or something in this kind of format, because to me this is beautiful. I love the way that all these are together, just their spines showing with the power coin on the spine, and just the idea of a ranger holding their helmet with the title Power Rangers on there. I wasn't even the biggest Power Ranger fan growing up. I wasn't a Power Ranger fan. I was not biggest, but this series, Kyle Higgins' run on this series, made me actually buy some of the toys, some of the Rangers from the Lightning collection. That's how much I enjoy this. And freaking the Ranger Slayer. And anyway, if you've not read it, go. I think Year 1, it came out twice. It was reprinted twice, so you may be able to find that one still. I know Year 2 had another printing. This one is still in stock, but I had to put this one up here because I think it is a beautiful presentation. Literally the last book to come out at the end of the year here, at least here in America. It's been available for a couple of weeks up in Canada. But Batman, The Rise and Fall of the Batman Omnibus. This is James Tynion's run on Detective Comics with artwork by Eddie Barrows. Man, I pushed for this book so hard because I think a lot of people missed out on it. not reading the Rebirth Deluxe editions or the trade paperbacks, because I think some people only thought about Tom King's run on Batman. And while that run is ups and downs, this one here, for me at least, just was everything I wanted. It's the return of the Bat family. It's characters I hadn't seen in a long time. This is more on the relationship between Batman and just the rest of the characters in here, like Robin, Spoiler, Clayface, Batwoman, Batwing, Azrael shows up, and of course Cassandra Cain, who was known as Orphan during this time. It's a freaking awesome read. I hope all you that got it after my video went live and you were on the fence about it and you ended up buying it, I hope you all enjoy it. But this one definitely belongs on the list as, top. It's definitely top 10 material for releases of 2020. Blade of the Immortal from Dark Horse Comics. This is the deluxe edition. It is a hardcover. It does read from left to right, and even though the panels have been cut out, some mirror images are still there. I know that bothers a lot of people, or some people rather, but to me, this is one of my favorite manga, and it's finally released in a deluxe hardcover edition, so hell yes, this belongs on the list. I was gonna make a video last year of what books I want in hardcover, what manga I wanted in hardcover, and I will probably do that in 2021. And this was number one up there because I love this story so much. I love the character of Manji and Rin, and to follow their adventures. There's gonna be a total of 10 of these, by the way. To follow their adventures from beginning to end, to see the character growth and to see what happens to them. Man, I'm very jealous of the people reading it for the first time, especially in this format. Like I said, it does read in the traditional American style from left to right, but the images have been cut out and the panels have been placed where they're supposed to be in the original Japanese version. But they can't do that with every panel, so some images have been mirrored. But, of course, oh my gosh, yes. And you get a ribbon! That's a win-win. New Mutants, Volume 1 from Marvel Comics. This is the Omnibus Edition, and one that I have been wanting for so long, for many years. Up there with Excalibur, just almost tied with Excalibur. But I had to be fair and just talk about New Mutants. And the reason this is in here is because New Mutants was a sleeper hit for a lot of people. New Mutants was the title that not a lot of people followed, kind of like Excalibur. And it really didn't find its own voice until Bill Sienkiewicz took over the book with issue 18, with the first appearance of Warlock. It just became a darker tone. And you really weren't expecting that for a book that was featuring younger X-Men. This was a book featuring kids. And the things, the hell that they go through, especially during the Demon Bear saga, during the Secret Wars tie-in, which will be, or Secret Wars 2, rather, which will be in the second omnibus, if they make one, not starting any rumors. But this absolutely belongs on the list. It is so different than X-Men, and I can see why some people didn't really enjoy it. By the way, a big correction here. I did mention Bob McLeod and Brent Anderson and, of course, Bill Sienkiewicz, but I forgot to mention Sal Buscema. And Sal Buscema was the artist that took over after Anderson left. So I forgot to mention, I don't know why I forgot to mention that. I even have a couple of these issues signed by him. But anyway, that's the kind of art you're going to find in this book. And to me, it was just, it was awesome. Nothing's going to be as good as X-Men, right? So it's really not fair to compare it to the flagship title, but it is still a solid read. Criminal, the Deluxe Edition, Volume 3. Hells yes. We finally got this book. It's finally out. This is a series that started actually at Marvel Comics on their Icon imprint. So there were 2 volumes released, 2 deluxe editions released through Icon. And then he moved the series over, I think in 2011, to Image Comics. And in 2014, they started collecting the trade paperbacks. Now, they've announced a reprint of the Criminal Deluxe Edition Volume 1 and 2. It was supposed to come out this year, but, we've had a lot of issues with shipping and pandemic and printers. So they pushed it, I think, until March of 2021. But this is Volume 3, so we have the return of all these characters. Leo Patterson, Tracy Lawless, Jake, Gnarly Brown. All these characters are finally back, and we finally get to read about them. This one here collects the My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies graphic novel that came out a couple of years ago in the standard edition format. However, I'm going to cheat a little bit because it's not just Criminal that came out, but also Cruel Summer, which is actually volume 4 or 3.5 of Criminal. And hell yes, both of these books in 2020. Oh, what a way to wrap up the year. And just to return to this crime noir world with all these characters that are, honestly, all of them are in the gray zone. Like, there's really no black and white. They're all gray characters, and those are my favorite type of characters because they aren't one-dimensional. They're doing crappy stuff, but they also have a good reason for doing it sometimes. If you've not read it, and if you want to wait for the deluxe edition reprint of the first one, that comes out sometime next year from Image. But if you want to buy it used, maybe I'll sell my copies because I'm an idiot and I want these all in the same, format. I want them all in this Image format now because, damn it, we have Deluxe Edition Volume 3 and Cruel Summer in this format without a dust jacket, so I'm an idiot. You all know how I am when it comes to double dipping. But that, as they say, is that. No, that, as they say, is my list of top 10 books that came out in 2020. Now, you can purchase these books or when they get restocked from our sponsor. The edition's up to 50% off retail price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on excellent packaging, so your stuff gets to you in excellent condition, and they have amazing customer service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And for all you Minties that are watching, if you're a first-time customer, don't forget to mention that Near Mint Condition sent you their way for a promotional credit on free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. CheapGraphicNovels.com, your source for the hottest books with deep discounts, customer service, and excellent shipping that will keep you coming back for more. And that was my top 10 graphic novels, collected editions that came out in 2020. I even snuck an 11th up there, but it really fits in with Criminal, so that's okay. What were your top 10, top 3, top 5, whatever list you have of graphic novels that came out in 2020? Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. I will be doing my top 10 graphic novel reads of 2020, whether they came out in 2020 or they came out before or a couple of years ago. I just finally got around to reading them. So tune in tomorrow for that. It's the last day of the year. And then on Friday, get ready for the budget meeting that we have every month as far as collected editions coming out in January of 2021. It feels so weird saying 2021. We're finally getting out of this year. But more importantly, just wanted to say thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to stay healthy, stay safe out there, and much love to all of you.